85% of people are dissatisfied with their job. And of that number, only 30% will try to change to something better. And of that number, only 20% of people will successfully transition to a work life they enjoy. My name is Jet. I'm a self-made millionaire, and I've helped over thousands of people quit their 9-to-5 jobs to make a full-time living from their laptop while doing something they love. And at the same time, I've also watched thousands, if not millions of people who haven't used my guidance, spent years trying to research and failing on how they can actually make a good living online. And despite all the effort that they put, they never actually managed to leave their 9-to-5 and do actually something online that makes them money and makes them happy. So whether you want to start a business, work in Hollywood, or just make a living from your laptop, over the years, I've spotted certain patterns in those who actually successfully follow through with their dreams and also those who don't. The good news is, if you can spot these signs early and nip them in the bud today, you will be much more likely to successfully transition to work that truly makes you happy. So before I get into the number one most common sign, let me go through some of the other signs that you're never going to actually quit your 9-to-5 and live your dreams. The first one is you consume more than you create. Look, obviously we all have to learn from others, but if you're spending more time on the internet learning and researching than actually taking action, you're never going to get traction. Trust me, there never comes a point where you will feel ready and where you will feel like you know enough. Everyone always feels unready, but the winners, they keep pushing through and they take action anyway, regardless of whether they feel ready or not. Plus, when they do then take a step back and learn, the lessons and the things that they are learning now make so much more sense because they've actually had an experience. And that gives them meaningful context. Only learning without actually doing doesn't really let you master the skill or master the thing you're trying to do. And this combination of rapid failure and learning creates a sort of flywheel that over time makes them much more likely to actually succeed. The next one is if you spend the majority of your time hanging out with people who are in 9-to-5 jobs. As much as we don't like to admit it, friendships have such a big impact on us and they come with a high cost. I'm sure many of you have heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And yet almost none of you will have done anything about that. Our human brains have evolved to be always calculating where we are in the hierarchy of our tribe. We want to know whether there's room for improvement or if we're dominating. Our motivation level literally depends on how well we're doing in comparison to our friends and family. And if all of them are also in jobs that they dislike, our brain is going to convince us that we're already doing as well as we can do, and that we're already doing as well as can be expected, and that there's no point in spending our energy to try and get something more because the people around us also settled for average. Now, you don't necessarily need to drop all your friends, okay? I know you have a life too and you like to go places, right? But even just spending more time with successful people who have businesses, who are entrepreneurs, who escape the matrix red race, right? Who have a brain of themselves and try to actually think more about things in life, etc. That is already going to change your brain chemistry and it's going to make you look at their qualities and how you can become more like them. Right? And that's already going to make you much more likely to push yourself to do more and to be more and to live up to your potential more. If you're watching this video, it also means you have access to the internet, which means that at the very least you could find these people online and then speak to them on video calls or join their programs or become part of their community. The next one, if you blame circumstances that are outside of your control instead of taking responsibility for your own results. Now, is a tricky one. I've seen it a million times. Oh, I don't have enough time to start a business. I don't have any energy after work. My 2 cents, that is all bullshit. Yes, some people have worse circumstances than others. That is completely true, definitely. But there have also been people in much worse situations and circumstances than you are right now. And they made it work and they have done wonderful things and actually took ownership and accountability of their life and of changing things. Ultimately, success doesn't care about fairness. Success cares about action. You must take responsibility for your life and commit to the idea that if you aren't finding a way to do the work and make it happen, then it's no one else's fault but your own. People who don't take responsibility, they typically stay in their 9 to 5 forever and in the rat race forever. Now, finally, the biggest and most common sign that you will never quit your 9 to 5 and follow your dreams is that you don't follow the law of advancement. I actually learned this during Funnel Hacking Live from Myron Golden. In nature, before anything goes up, it has to go down. Before they could build tall buildings, they had to build the foundation. The thrust of a rocket pushes down before it can go up. And if we plant a seed that wants to be a tree, it has to go down in the ground first. And in the ground, no one will see it. The roots will have to go down really deep and really far in the dirt, mud. There will be nobody. For a seed to become a tree, it has to be willing to die. It has to be willing to cease being a seed, to become a sprout, to become a tree. So until you are willing to stop being what you have been, you will never become what you want to become. The seed does that. It gets roots and it becomes a big, beautiful tree. Now, let's think about this tree. One day, the eagle family, right? Family of eagles is flying and they want to build a new nest and they choose this tree. So the mama eagle lays the eggs and they hatch, and these little eagle babies, they don't have feathers yet. Every day they get nurtured and they grow. And one day the baby eagle wakes up and wants to learn how to fly. So the next day mom says, "Get on my back." And she flies out with the baby eagle on the back. The mom turns and flips over. And what happens? The baby eagle falls off and it thinks it's gonna die. And right before the baby eagle hits the ground, the mom comes, the big mom eagle, and the baby lands on the back again and they go back to the nest. And one by one, all these baby eagles had this same experience. So the next morning, the mom eagle says, "Get on my back." And the baby knows that the mom is going to flip them and that they're gonna fall. And the same thing happens each time. The mom catches the baby eagle again. Next day says, "Let's go again." And this keeps happening until one day when the baby eagle falls off the mom's back, the wind catches the wings of the baby eagle just in the right angle. And the baby eagle spreads its wings and flies. And all of the sudden knows how it works. And the baby eagle flies back super proud to the nest. What percentage of eagles do you think learn how to fly? When they learn, so obviously it's everyone. Obviously, all the eagles learn how to fly. However, when they had to learn how to fly, they all had to go through this learning curve, right? And it's the same with low bank accounts, low credit cards, and arguments about money. They live there. They live in the learning curve. They live in that struggle. Now, on top of the tree in that nest, that is where the miserable comfort zone is, right? You want to stay in the nest because you know you're going to fall. You know you might not, you know you're gonna fall, you know your mom's gonna flip you off, and right, if you're an eagle. So the comfort zone is where you would want to stay. But if those eagles would have stayed all the time in the nest, they would have never been able to fly themselves, to find a partner, to live an eagle life, right? So to obviously grow, you have to get out of your comfort zone, and that's not going to be nice. It's not going to be cozy. It's going to be hard. So if you're willing to give up your current life, to disappear for a while, and to push yourself to learn, for example, these new skills, to leave your comfort zone, you will fly higher than you've ever thought possible. The people I see that actually quit their 9 to 5, make their dreams come true, they all follow these principles. So if you are still stuck in your 9 to 5 and you want to actually do something online from your laptop, but you also want to love what you do and be passionate about it, you would love to make 3 to 5K per month, then click the video that's on the screen now for a full step-by-step guide. And remember, when something is free, the only thing you have to lose is all your excuses.